So back when my granddad was a young boy in Nacogdoches, his dad, who was a superintendent of schools for a long time, his name was R.F. Davis. And they had basically a farm. They lived from North Street all the way to the creek behind Regay Elementary. And that was their farm at one time. They had hogs, and one of my grandfather's chores was to feed the hogs, and they had chops, and it was chopped corn. He would scoop some up and throw in the hog trough, and he got to noticing when he took the lid off the barrel, it was just a wooden barrel with a wooden lid, and he looked down in there, and it seemed like the chops there's not as many as there were yesterday. So he smoothed it out real good, and so if anybody was stealing them, he would know it. Well, that night, somebody came and visited, because the next morning he opened it up and somebody had run their hand down in there and filled a bucket up and left. So he told his father, somebody's stealing the chops. They got a steel trap and set it down there in those chops. Of course, it's dark. There wasn't no flashlights back in or anything. You just snuck around by the light of the moon, or you might have a lantern, but a thief's not going to have nothing. He's just going to slip around in the dark. Well, during the night, they heard a screaming, and he had taken the chain and run through the bunghole and tied it to a post right there. They got up. My great-grandfather, he got his little 41 Derringer short. He come out there with that little pistol, and there was that man, and that steel trap had trapped his hand, and he was screaming, "Please let me go." You might think that my grandfather would have shot him or something like that, but he didn't. He made him promise that he'd never steal anything again. And he said partner said the guy was just crying, and swore to the Lord that he would not ever steal anything in his life again. And they don't know if he did or not, but they don't think he did, because they let him out of that steel trap and he went home. But he had I don't know if he had broken bones in his hand, but a steel trap on your hand would not be a good thing. So that's a steel trap in the chops story. I'd hate to get my hand in a steel trap, but the best thing to do is just not be stealing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.